Andrew Wiggins, which I keep saying he's horrible.
Trash.
He on your fantasy team.
I thought he was gonna have a turnaround. I thought Jimmy was gonna bump him up, and it just went totally left field.
Jimmy shut him down.
Yes,
Jimmy got soda.
Man, Jimmy went there and bitched your mans.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
I forgot who was he having that argument with and shut him up. I forgot who it was. They showed it on the sidelines. Right?
But is it a bad thing though?
Man, I like Jimmy in our team. I like what he brings.
strong-minded?
I like what he brings to our team.
I don't know. It ain't good for these little weak ass niggas that's in the NBA now.
That's a fact.
Excuse my language, but it is what it is.
That's a fact. Yeah. All right, man. So yeah, big basketball trade deadline. This weekend's about to be crazy. Well, the rest of this week, I should say, up until next Thursday. That's when the trade deadline is officially here.
What's the date?
February 7th. So expect some more big moves to be made.
Oh, that's the same day as the All-Star draft.
Yep, same day. All right. Football. We missed last week's podcast. We wasn't able to talk championship game football, but we're gonna talk about it on this podcast. So,
what was your record? What was your record on that one?
we're not gonna talk about
Oh
that.
No. What was your record on those?
I was 0-2.
You were 0-2
for the championship game.
That means 0 wins.
That means 0 wins.
Oh damn!
And Ed was 2-0.
Oh,
I was 2-0.
Yeah,
2 wins.
2 wins.
Oh dear God! Oh yeah, Papa Magic.
Go ahead, man. Get your shit off.
Other than Adrian Broner, nigga, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Broner got his ass.
come on, man.
You still owe me my $6 bill, man.
It is. I got you. Here's a cut.
All right, so championship Sunday 2 weeks ago, we had, what was the first game? The first game was the Saints and Rams. So Ed, I know you was happy.
Right. Could not afford that.
What's your thoughts? What was your thoughts on that game, man? What?
They knew that if they let them, if the refs knew. See, they talking about them South Carolina, South California ties. Nah, they got some Atlanta heads that made them make sure they ain't fuck that up. Because if the Saints would have been in our home, and celebrated their championship in our locker room, oh no, somebody had to die. We be building a new stadium next year. Promise you, that bitch will get burnt down.
But how do you miss that call though? I just don't understand. How do you
help?
Just the call, the hit. It's like, I know it's like a bang bang. It's not a bang.
There was multiple missed calls in that game.
I understand that, but
that
this
face
one
mask
was like,
on Jared Goff would stop them from getting. They hit a field goal instead of being on the first and goal at the 1 yard line.
But what do you do to prevent this though? You can't do the replays every single time. It's like
there's literally nothing you can do.
Just continue.
There's nothing. If they enforce that stupid you can call penalties on replays, that's stupid. It's gonna slow the game down way too much. Yeah. It's gonna have everybody and their mama mad. It's gonna be dumb. It is what it is.
Real quick,
a mess up.
I want to talk about the game from start to finish before we get to that call. So beginning of the game, I wrote some notes during the game. And beginning of the game, it looked to me like a home field advantage was playing a huge factor for New Orleans. Rams offensive line couldn't hear shit. They couldn't hear no commands. They couldn't communicate with one another, and protections was off. Like Jared Goff was getting hit. It was false starts. It was everything bad going at that point in time. And then on the opposite end, though, the Rams defense was holding up had a pretty shaky start, it looks like, as well. No, I'm sorry. I put the Rams defense held up pretty well after a shaky start from the offense because the offense was looking bad. So there's Goff threw an interception, 3 and out was like the first 2 possessions. Rams defense held it down because that game could have got ugly real quick in that first quarter, but they held it down. But yeah, communication seemed like really bad. In the second quarter, it seemed like Jared Goff was able to settle in, and it looks like that they was able to work out whatever communication issues that they was having, rather it be like it was like hand signals or whatever they started to do.
They couldn't hear anything.
Right, that's a fact. But they figured it out because now, like, it looked like in the second quarter, that's when the Rams offense started to pick up, and they looked a little bit more comfortable, I would say.
Because C.J. Anderson started playing.
So was Todd Gurley 100%?
Yeah, what's going on with that Todd Gurley situation? That was weird.
Man, this is what was happening. That boy couldn't catch the damn ball. That boy kept going in the hole, not seeing nothing. Right.
That wasn't like him though. It was just
C.J. Anderson was fitting. He fit. He did the right things.
The game before,
Todd Gurley could not grab the ball.
When New Orleans played, was it Philly?
Yep.
Todd Gurley had a really good game. And in this game, he had a touchdown, but he didn't get no touches. Like, he didn't get no burn. Mm-mm. Like, he had, 3-4 carries or some shit.
I'm guessing it's probably rest or something.
I think he was hurt.
Yeah.
I think he was hurt.
I think he was playing terrible, and the coach made a call in the middle of the game. That's what I think.
When you look,
CJ had a great game.
When they kept showing him when they kept showing him on the sideline, it looked like he was trying to work out some type of hamstring. I think it's a hamstring or something, like a hamstring or a quad injury or something like that. Like he's jogging in place and trying to warm up his muscles or some shit.
He was trying to stay loose for when he got his call again because he done fucked up too much.
I think he was hurt, man. I don't think it was anything about him playing bad.
Man,
even when you playing bad, you still got to give him his touches.
Yeah,
to spell, even when you're spelling CJ did play. He balled out. CJ Anderson balled the hell out. But even if you're just using him to spell him, he still didn't get no carries. That was crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
Yeah, I'm struggling over here right now.
I see, man. Spilling water. Dropping phones.
Hey, I'll get it together.
Yeah, hopefully.
At some point.
Todd Gurley, that's what he was doing over here.
Third quarter.
When I get replaced mid talking.
Third quarter, New Orleans, they was able to establish a run game, and they kind of took it to that Rams defense in the third, running the ball. The offensive line started to wear on them. It looked like Alvin Kamara, man, that motherfucker's a beast. He was killing them in the run. He was killing them on them wheel routes. Motioning out of the backfield. They didn't have nobody to cover them. And it didn't seem like LA was making any adjustments because you would think you would put a safety or a fucking cornerback to come out there and check them. Yep. They kept trying to put linebackers on them, and it was easy work. Fucking first down. Easy.
Right around them.
I put in my notes here. Todd Gurley scored a touchdown but didn't really play. Injuries. So, I think he was hurt. And then in the fourth quarter, that's when chaos happened. All right, so the big thing over that game was the blatant missed call. So the hit that
the face mask,
the hit that the cornerback, that face mask. Okay,
not the face mask. Where the helmet was turned to a 40. Where the helmet was turned to a 45-degree angle.
Okay,
and the man couldn't see out of his left eye.
I'll give you that.
So not that blatant call.
So they missed two blatant calls. So they missed that call.
Calls. Okay, I just wanted to make
sure.
But
then they missed the face masks. We see those shits get missed. On
occasion.
Just
it happens.
Almost
not when the quarterback face mask is not missed call.
Listen, it happens. That hit.
Yeah, that was bull.
That was crazy.
Crazy.
He literally hit stick the man. The ball was nowhere near him.
At all.
Coming right around him, but it just.
And then the craziest part about it, after the game, he even admitted, hell yeah, I hit him. He had no shame about it either. I was trying to make sure that nigga ain't score.
And then Roger Goodell's still silent. It's just.
At the thing, he what did he say? He said, I made a waffle out of his ass or something. Yeah. Yo.
I mean, you got to call those calls, but I mean, if you don't, it's just.
Goodell did come out though. He said that the referees are human too,
which is a fact.
Yeah,
they're not going to get it right all the time.
No.
But I feel like two judges that had saw that play should have been able to be like, oh yeah.
So you disagree that penalties can be challenged? Should be able to be challenged?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean, if it's it's not the 2-minute rule. Under the last 4, you're right. It's going to slow down the game. The last 4 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, it's going to slow the game down too much for me.
But these is deciding factors of leading up to.
At the end of the day, in overtime, because the game went to overtime, who got the ball?
True.
The Saints.
That's a fact.
When the Saints had the ball, what they do?
Fowler put pressure on Breeze, forced a bad throw, and picked off.
Breeze threw up a duck instead of just taking the pick, instead of taking the sack.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, their defense could have stopped them from doing it, right?
The game got to play on.
Very fair. Very fair. Yeah, the Saints had the opportunity. They didn't capitalize. Simple as that.
At the very beginning of the game, they had 2 great drives get stalled out in the 20s because of great defense from the Rams and poor execution from the Saints. If the game was 14-0 instead of 6-0, that's a big difference. I'm not giving them no slack on that.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say that one play determined the game because you had multiple opportunities to put that team away and you didn't.
At home.
You know what I'm saying? So even though it was a terrible call that the refs missed, and the refs are human and they miss calls. My whole thing with the NFL is like, yo, it's too much technology for these calls to be missed like this.
Exactly.
It's way too much technology to be missed like this.
Yeah, now that's one thing I will agree on that they was talking about, is that maybe somebody that's in the review people, the station thing, whatever they got, they said that they should be able to radio down to the head referee and tell them that a flag should be thrown. Now that I'm okay with, because they're watching the game as well.
Right.
I'm not okay with let's replay to see if there was a foul somewhere. No, that's whack.
Yeah,
but I'm okay with a eye in the sky referee.
Eye in the sky, rather than them huddling up and then a flag come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
that was gonna create something else,
and that's taking away too much time from the game. I'm okay with somebody else watching the game as well. That's not there. Yeah. That's even more impartial than the people that's on the field.
True.
I feel you on that one. And then last thing here, shout out to fucking Zerline. That motherfucker hit some big kicks. He hit 2 big kicks. One to send him into overtime, and then the second one was like 57 to win it. Man,
yeah, that was far.
Kickers don't get love, man. Shout out to Zerline. That was impressive. I was impressed by that. All right, so yeah, that was the first game. And what was the final score of that game?
Rams won. Saints ass.
Is it that serious? Damn, come on.
The hatred is real.
But if Pittsburgh was in the Super Bowl, how would y'all be feeling right now?
Yeah, why would you bring them up like that? Come on, man. Come on.
I mean, the fact is Pittsburgh is not in the Super Bowl.
Exactly. Neither is the Saints.
Because the Baltimore Ravens, your AFC North, Kings of the North, Baltimore Ravens.
And they would never go nowhere as long as what's name keep messing with Kodak Black.
Keep talking that shit.
All right.
Keep talking that shit.
Drop Kodak Black.
Kodak Black for the hood. Kodak Black is for the hood. Adrian Broder not for the hood.
Well, I guess the hood is 0-2, ain't it?
Shit. Yeah, fuck you. All right, so all right, and then the second game on Championship Sunday was the New England Patriots going into Kansas City.
Great game.
Yeah, both games was great. This is probably the best championship weekend I've experienced since the Baltimore Ravens went to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. But
yeah, I get you that.
That's besides the point. But yeah. See, playing New England at home, and from jump. New England's game plan, like I can clearly see it. Keep the ball from KC and Patrick Mahomes' hands. And they was running the ball and it's controlling the clock. And they was trying to give as few possessions as possible to that explosive offense.
They doubled them in time possession. And
it worked. It worked for that first half. Like I was pissed. I was rooting for KC. And that game plan was a fucking Bill Belichick. Here we go. Fucking mad genius himself come in with this fucking awesome game plan. Fucking Sony Michel running the ball, having a great game, picking up first downs. Offensive line dominating KC's front seven.
It was James White that was picking up the those 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4s. Mm-hmm. Like, it was crazy.
Man, the shit was nuts, dude. And they drove down. I'm like, man, like the KC can't
like
stop
6-7 minute drive.
And I'm sitting there wondering if like they're going to make a fucking adjustment, Kansas City. And on top of that, New England's defense, when KC did get the ball, New England's defense was pretty stout for that first half.
That's all the Belichick. This is what he do.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, New England offensive line and running game controlled that whole first half, and it looked like they was getting ready to go up 14-0 when KC Reggie Ragland, he had a huge interception on that goal line. Like, that was big. So they played that shit perfect, where they tried to play action, lob it over the top to Gronk, and Ragland read it perfect and picked it off. So that was huge. That saved them from there. New England looked like they was able to get very good pressure on Mahomes in that first half as well, because he looked very shaky. Mm-hmm. He looked very shaky. I didn't know if it was a playoff moment or if it was just New England's pressure. Like, the pass rushers was getting at him.
Don't want to be comfy.
Yeah, and their front seven was doing a great job controlling the run. And then, like you said, Tyreek was getting doubled the whole game. The whole game. They was not let him beat him.
Yeah, I think he had. He ended the game with one catch. That one big ass catch he had. That was it.
But Travis Kelce got off.
No, he didn't get off.
Kelce got off.
He had 20-something yards total.
Hold on, let me look at these stats.
Look it up. I guarantee it. He had 20-something yards total He did not get off. They locked people up. It was that random dude.
Now, somebody
12.
had to get off because he had like
it was